So we have confirmation that the samurai are still around. Because we were sure as hell worried. I gotta say, the best thing in this chapter, and the most progression we probably got in the chapter, was the Kyuubi having the cloak of the Susanoo on top of it. The Kyuubi cloak with the Susanoo on top of it as armor. I think that was pretty sick, and that was probably another, slight advancement of, okay, we're gonna go up against Obito, so we're gonna use this armor on top of the Kyuubi, and we're gonna tag team and work together. So I guess that was like the most progression we got out of everything in this entire chapter. Once again, a very basic chapter this week. It just really doesn't go too far in the plot and progression as far as this fight goes. We got a little bit more of action in this chapter than we got last chapter, so at least we got a little bit more of the fighting going on, and they're advancing towards Obito once again instead of having that stop. But I felt with this chapter, and I'm starting to notice a trend with these past couple chapters as well, probably, I don't even know, past handful of chapters or so, that ever since Kishimoto got this new editor, it feels as though, I don't know if maybe he's going a lot slower than normal because he's working on the next arc, and he's just like, okay, I could do these chapters real quick while I work on what I'm going to do next, or is it that Shonen Jump just wants him to keep on making this arc as long as possible because maybe it's real big over there or something? I don't know, but I definitely see a trend, like with this particular chapter. Once again, Obito is saying some of the same things he said probably over a dozen times already in this arc. Oh, how can you trust that they're not going to stop? How can you trust that they're not going to betray you? How can you know that you're not going to become me in the future? And once again, Kakashi saying that Obito's looking for Naruto's resolve and all this. And I feel as though we've gone through this road probably at least half a dozen times of Obito saying these things and Naruto, pretty much saying, no, this is my ninja way to keep on going. So it definitely feels as though maybe Kishimoto got a new editor or something, and this guy is either A, telling him to keep this arc up because it's, very big right now, or they're working together to create the next arc, because definitely this chapter once again felt like a lot of familiar stuff we've already seen in prior chapters in this arc. And it's interesting though that Orochimaru is willing to participate in this fight. He said, yeah, if it means that Obito's going to take over, then hell no, I don't want him pretty much being the dominant guy and destroying my experiments. There's only room for one creep in this world, huh? And hey, I gotta give it to Sakura, at least she is helping out with the healing department. I was hoping she'd be more on the offense because, it'd be sick and kick-ass to see her kicking some butt or whatnot, but I guess pretty much Kishimoto's way of having her kick butt was when those Kyuubi little clones was coming and attacking and her kicking their asses was his way of like, yo, Sakura does kick some ass, but nonetheless, at least she's doing something. Because in all fairness, even though I always say, yeah, Hinata for the win, Hinata ain't doing too much right now, opposed to Sakura, she's like healing the whole village, so I'll give it up to her for that. And also, how the hell does Kakashi still know what's going on outside if he's in the other dimension? Can he like sense the chakra, or is he just assuming that the fight is still going on? And overall, there really just wasn't much to say about this chapter. I felt as though at least it had a little bit of action opposed to last week's chapter, so that was pretty good. And we got a little bit of seeing what everyone's going around doing, like, the samurai are still around, which I was like, wait, what the hell happened to the samurai for the longest time? So that's cool. Kishimoto decided to throw them in there, and you see Tobirama's working on stuff, but again, it just feels like this deadlock battle with Obito has been going on for ages, and it's like, yeah, it's enjoyable to see, and it's like a big moment in the Naruto story, but I feel as though, again, with this chapter, it didn't really progress much of where we're going, and like, seeing an end in sight to this battle, especially with the teaser that we got last week. I felt as though it teased like, okay, maybe something big might happen. Naruto and Sasuke will something to Obito, but then we really didn't get much in this chapter. It's like, okay, let's finish this fight, Naruto, alright, Sasuke, and we didn't really get any progression. And I guess that's my main complaint with the chapter, because there was some cool fighting, cool action, seeing some characters setting up for what they're going to try to do to Obito and cut down this tree. I'll never get used to saying that, cut down this tree. Like, this tree is like a monster and a villain. It's like, holy shit, a fucking tree. Hopefully this editor isn't the reason why Kishimoto was stalling as far as like where he's going to be progressing the arc, because it definitely seems as though once he got this new editor, it's like, no, you got to stay right here. And it's like, what the fuck? His old editor was like letting him go as fast as possible, and this one, the pacing has definitely slowed down a lot. I hope this doesn't mean that this is his final arc and that's why he's taking so long, because he wants to make it go as long as possible and he has something new. Because, I mean, if he really wanted to stall, wouldn't he just create a new arc anyway? I feel as though maybe he's using this arc and this fight to work out the kinks of the next arc, is what I'm hoping anyway. So all in all, this was an average chapter, and according to my rating scale, average will be 5 out of 10. It was, again, it had some cool fights and some cool sets setups, but as far as progression, we barely got any. Let me know what you think. Do you think that this fight has been going on way too long with Obito? Do you think that Kishimoto's been dragging it out? Do you feel as though there needs to be an end at some given point? Or do you feel as though it's just been incredible and great? For me personally, it's like, it's been a cool fight, but like chapters like this, I feel as though we really don't get no ground covered, and I want more ground covered. It's like, yo, the chapter was cool and all cool fights, but we didn't, like, you know, at least take one of Obito's arms off, or have him, you know, finally show a change and like, alright, whatever, I'm just gonna end this battle now and be done with it. So that's really, I guess, my main complaint about the chapter, because all in all, it was some cool fights, and I guess I'm liking seeing that characters are doing certain things, especially, you know, Sakura's being useful, Tsunade's healing, everybody's doing their thing, but it's just really the progression is what lacks. That's all I have for this quick review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up if you can't wait to see, hopefully, an end to this fight soon, because I really thought, based on the teaser, that we were really going to get somewhat of an end or somewhat of a big ground cover with this chapter, especially since we're right around Naruto's birthday with this chapter, and I thought Kishimoto wanted to coincide with that, but apparently I was wrong, so hopefully we just get an end soon to at least this fight, and we can start on a brand new arc soon. I'm Finette World, and as always, people, have an awesome day.